and welcome back to my channel, Bookmarked by Aaliyah. Welcome if you're new here. As you can see from the intro, I have had a busy couple of days. I have been moving and grooving since Saturday. Yesterday was the first day of school, and my husband and I, we have a ritual. Since my son was in the kindergarten, he's in the 8th grade this year. So since he was in the kindergarten, we have a ritual. When we drop him off at school, we keep it moving and we just spend a day together doing a whole bunch of nothing. We always go to breakfast to our favorite little, family owned like diner. Food is so good. We tear up them skillets. Then we just spend a day doing whatever. We go in a couple of stores. We might go shopping. We might just ride around like we did yesterday. All we did was ride around by like the lake and went to the river walk, and we just hang out. We just reconnect as husband and wife, and I really enjoy myself. As you can see, Sunday we went to the first preseason Bears game. It was a tie. Whatever, I'll take that before them losing all the time like they did last season. So this is actually my first day alone. Well, Lola's here, of course, but first day alone since May. And I'm about to enjoy every minute of it. Well, not quite enjoy it, because I do have stuff to do. I don't know what we're going to be doing in this video at all. So we're just going with the vibes. We're just going, because I have no idea what this video is going to be. It's probably going to be all over the place, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. So far as what I'm reading right now, I am reading Under the Tulip Tree. I'm actually almost done with this. I think I'm at about 80%, so I only have like 20% left. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just listen to the rest of this book. I don't know yet, because I'm listening to this on Spotify Premium, and Spotify only gives you 15 hours a month. I messed up yesterday when I was listening to this a little bit while I was kind of doing some stuff later in the evening, and I fell asleep. Hours gone. I fell asleep. I woke up and the book was over. So I think I wasted my minutes. So I'm going to see if I have any. If I have some, I'll go ahead and listen to it. If not, I'm just going to knock out this last 20% and see what I'm working with. And we're going to go from there. Under the Tulip Tree by Michelle Stocklee. So I found this book on Kindle Unlimited. It was when I was kind of like in my slump. I had no idea the genre I wanted to read or anything like that. And I saw the synopsis for this. It sounded really good. Like it was a little different from your normal like slave narrative from, that time. So it was a little bit different. So this follows Lorena. Lorena's birthday is October 29th, I think 1829 or something like that. Point is, that's the day that the stock market crashed and the Great Depression started. Her father was a banker and he lost everything. So she's growing up in the Great Depression. Fast forward a few years later, she's a reporter, but she loses her job because obviously the Great Depression, you got to cut back on jobs. You got to, get rid of people because you can't afford to pay these employees. So she was a reporter. She has an opportunity now. It's not like 1936, I believe. And she's like 22 years old. She has an opportunity to be a reporter with Roosevelt's act that he put out. He initiated an act of some sort. I can't remember what it's actually called, but it's something with writers. Now, mind you, this is 1936. She's a young white woman. She has to go in an area in Tennessee called Hell's Half Acre. It's the poor neighborhood. It's a black neighborhood. And she's keeping this information from her parents because obviously, look at the year, look at the time. They would not approve of her doing that. She has to interview former slaves, but she gets connected to Frankie, an 101-year-old slave, previous slave. She finds out so much about slavery that she didn't know, because obviously you're a young white woman growing up in the 30s. Slavery was in the past. That's just what life was for white people. She had no idea what slaves actually endured. In her head, she was like, oh, they just employed to keep up the tobacco fields, the cotton fields, the corn fields, whatever. Like, she really thought they weren't treated the way they were treated. And so she's hearing these stories from Frankie. So we're going between dual timeline, between Frankie's story growing up as a 6-year-old child all the way up to adulthood. She's an adult now in the story where I am in the story right now. She's an adult. But we're going through Frankie's whole life through these interviews. There's going to end up being a slight connection between the two of these women. Like, she was just drawn to this woman for whatever reason. It's a really good story. It really is. And I'm glad I found it. When I was reading some of the reviews, a lot of people weren't happy with the book because the author is white. A lot of reviews were saying like that, people get to reaching, saying that a white person shouldn't be writing a slave narrative. Well, honestly, y'all, I understand that to a certain extent, but I feel like this is done well. Via audio, they're not doing too much with the accent of Frankie. And she's doing it well. She's doing it cautiously, you can tell, because the way that Frankie is speaking in these past chapters is not the way it probably went down. Like, it's way too eloquent, it's way too advanced, but like she's really doing it justice, and I don't see a problem with it. But y'all know I don't get to dig in too deep with these like social issues when it comes to these books, because guess what? They're books. It's a story. I'm either gonna like it, not like it, think it's in the middle. Like, it's really not that deep. Like, if you got rude in a book, okay, but she's not getting rude. So I don't really feel that. I read from all authors. I read from Black authors, white authors, Hispanic authors, Asian authors. I read everybody. So I'm not gonna not read this book because it's a slave narrative in the past chapters written by a white person. Like, I understand why that can make a couple Black people itch a little bit, but it's just not that deep, and it's done well. And I already recommend this book if you want something cozy, if you want a historical fiction, if you just want something. Like, is it the greatest thing I've ever read? No, but it's a really good book, and I'm not mad I read it, because I was in the mood for something cozy, historical fiction like, and this fit the bill. So anywho, at some point in this video, we're gonna start another book. I just don't know what I'm in the mood for. Again, I was gonna pick 3 books for me to like finish out the month with, but I don't know that I want to stick to what I pick. So we're just gonna go with the flow with this video, because I really don't know. I know for sure we'll pick our next book together. When I'm done with this, I'll see what my feelings are like and what I'm in the mood for. I think I'm in the mood to laugh, so I think I'm gonna be reaching more for like a rom-com is what I'm thinking, because I've already read like a literary fiction for the month. I've already read a romance. I've already read historical fiction right here. I've already read a thriller. So I've kind of like hit all my genres that I usually hit, except like rom-com. So I think I'm gonna be reaching for a rom-com. Right now, since I'm alone with no distraction and nobody coming behind me messing up what I straighten up, I need to clean this kitchen up a little bit, wipe down some counters. So I'm gonna see if I still have any audio, and then I'm gonna listen to the rest of this book while I kind of straighten up around the house. And if not, I'll go chill out for a little bit and read. I need to get these nails done today. I need to pick up some groceries today. I got a lot of stuff to do. Not a lot, but I got to get that dog a bath. Y'all friend Lola, I got to give her a bath. So I will see you when I have another bookish update, or if I'm doing something bookish, or whatever the case may be. Yes, I have it on the go for Aaliyah. Thank you. So I'm on my way to run my errands, get my nails done, all that good stuff. But I did want to tell you when I was at home that I did finish Under the Tulip Tree while I was, doing some chores around the house. I think I'm going to settle with like a 3.5 for that. The story was cool. Like, it was a cool story. It was very predictable. I predicted the like plot twist well early in the story. So there was no like shock factor for me. I don't think anybody's going to have a shock factor. I think anybody could honestly figure out that plot twist. but it was definitely a touching story. Thank you. Like I was saying, it's a very touching story, and I think that anybody who is not of color that reads this book, hopefully it will be like eye-opening to you, you know, those that don't know a lot about slavery and things like that, you know. So not too deep of a story, but it was cool. It was something to read. Like this, like I said, the synopsis grabbed me, so I picked it up. Don't regret reading it at all. I still recommend it. Like if you're just looking for something cozy, just something to kind of pass the time, but nothing that I'm gonna say you have to read. No, you don't have to read it, but it was a really good story. I didn't get any caffeine today because I've been chugging coffee since I woke up this morning to get my son ready for school, because it's such an adjustment. I've only been waking up early if it's a work day. If it's an off day, I'm sleeping in. I decided to try the Blueberry Breeze refresher. That's good. That's good. I got like a pump of liquid cane sugar because it's just never sweet enough for me. I usually drink liquid diabetes, so my stuff has to be like on the sweeter side. I don't like real watery drinks. I like sweet drinks, but that is delicious. Very refreshing. Damn. So when I was at home, I was trying to figure out what was next, and I told you I was kind of looking into like a rom-com. So if it's not a rom-com, it's going to be something on the lighter side, let's put it like that. So I was looking, my choices are probably going to be between Bridesmaids for Hire by Megan Quinn or Audre and Bash Are Just Friends by Tia Williams. I kind of want something on the light, cute, fluffy, make you laugh, maybe, you know. I'm feeling that right now. Y'all know how I do. I'll go run these errands, come home, and want to go be sad somewhere. I want to be scared reading a horror, and I don't even read horror. I know how I do. It's probably going to be between one of those two. Megan Quinn's book's a little thicker than what the Tia Williams book is. I do work the next couple days, so I try to pick my books according to like what my schedule is, because if I have downtime at work, I usually read on my Kindle, but I don't have Audre and Bash on my Kindle, but I do have Megan Quinn. So sometimes for me to kind of get through a book, I'd like to have that book on my Kindle on the days that I work, for like on my lunch breaks and, you know, things like that. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be one of those two. And I'm gonna figure this out in the next 10 minutes because I want to start it while I'm in the nail shop, you know, while I'm getting my nails done. I'll probably start whatever it is on audio, or I don't know, because my nail tech has a little stand right there where you can kind of like put your phone and kind of your Kindle or whatever, where you can kind of keep yourself busy while you get your nails done. So I don't know if I feel like reading, since I just finished listening to that book, I might just physically start the book instead of audio, but I'm not gonna be out and about for too long, so I'll let you guys know what I actually picked. So got these nails done because I was out here looking raggedy. But while I sit here and wait for them to bring my groceries out, on my way back home, I'm going to be stopping at a little free library just to drop off books. I got a comment on one of the last few videos I did. Somebody asked, like, do I ever donate to little free libraries, you know, that they've never seen me do it? And I was like, yeah, I've done it a few times or whatever. It's funny that they asked that question because I had these books on my shelf. I feel like my foolery is about to start. It usually starts around fall through like the holidays and stuff of me buying more books. I do want to start really like go through the books that I have, like series that I'm in the middle of. If I'm not going to continue with the series, why do I have 3 books out of a 6-book series? Stuff like that. So I haven't really gone through those yet, but there were some that I just knew, like, I'm not going to read these books. Either I DNF'd it, or it's just something I'm just not interested in reading anymore, you know. So first I have Lauren Oliver, Delirium. This is a dystopian novel, and I've never read a dystopian book. I thought I was going to try, you know, like when I try to read books out of my comfort zone for the month, I picked this up. I think it was at Second and Charles. Wherever I got it, it was cheap. So I was like, well, let me just try it. I've had this book over a year. I have not touched it. I'm not going to touch it. I know me. Hello. Hey, how are you?
Not bad. How you doing?
Good.
Have a good night, ma'am.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Then I have Colleen Hoover, All Your Perfects. This is one of my one of the ones by her that I did enjoy, but honestly, I don't remember a whole lot about it. But I'm trying to slowly get rid of all my Colleen Hoover books. So I'm going to put this in a little free library just to, you know, bless somebody else. Then I have The Wedding People. I told you I was going to give it a few months or a month or however long I've given it, but I'm no longer interested. And I know somebody in my neighborhood would really enjoy this because so many people enjoyed this book. It just wasn't for me. Then the other one I DNF was Husbands and Lovers. Just have no interest in going back. The book is very slow and I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to it. Am I giving this away prematurely? Probably so, but I'll kick myself later. It is pouring down raining outside, so I am about to try to dive into this a little more than I was earlier. I think I'm only on chapter 6, but I was listening to it, so now I'm just gonna physically read as much as I can until like I eat dinner and shut down for the night. Before I start back into this, I do want to show you guys 2 packages I got. I opened one already. So I did get Elevator Pitch by Evelyn Leigh. I heard this book is filthy and I'm here for it. I'm down for filthy. It's an interracial relationship. I think it's a black girl. She's probably mixed up with something, and an Asian guy. I think he's mixed up with something. I could be making the whole thing up. I just know it's an interracial relationship. Looks like she's got like a boring, I don't want to read the back. I think she's just got like a boring life and she's gonna make like a F it list, like F it. All the things she wants to do, like her bucket list basically. And she gets on this dating app. And Grayson, I think is he a divorce? Yeah, he just got divorced. And he's the creator probably of this app because it says something like he has a dating app. So obviously that she's going to be on his app. Some kind of way they meet in the elevator. Something forms from that. And like I said, I heard it's filthy. And then this one just came today. I believe today is the release date for this one. It is Dream On by Jennifer Hartmann. Y'all know I love me some Jennifer Hartmann. This seems like it's going to be on the level of Catch the Sun. I think it's one of her like YA novels because Catch the Sun was technically YA. The little quote says, "He takes me in his arms and I feel like I'm his. And then he lets me go like I never will be. Lexington Hall and I were never supposed to collide. He, the golden boy of Hollywood, and me, a small town dreamer with stars in my eyes. But when we shared the stage in our high school musical, something ignited. Then, just as quickly, it all fell apart, leaving my dreams in pieces. Now, 4 years later, Lex is a household name, turning our past into a television sensation. He spun our story for the world to see, while I'm still haunted by what we lost. With millions obsessed over the real Stevie St. James, Lex reappears with an offer too tempting to turn down. A fake romance. Y'all know I love fake romance. A fake romance to keep the buzz alive in exchange for the financial freedom I desperately need. I convince myself that I can play that part. But as old feelings resurface and new risks emerge, the line between fiction and reality begin to blur. Dreams are easy to chase, but falling for the guy who shattered mine could cost me everything. This baby is thick too. It's a pretty book. It's sprayed edges. It's pretty. But it's a thickie. It's like 400. Well, it looks thicker than what it is. It's 436 pages. So we'll see. Catch the Sun wasn't my favorite. It was really, really cringy. Because y'all know how I feel about YAs. They get real cringy. I don't know. We'll see. But I still love Catch the Sun. It was beautiful writing. It was so poetic. It was a gorgeous book. Like I say all the time, sometimes I can tell my age when I read certain YAs just because it's younger for me. So I don't know. So these are the 2 books that I got today. And Barnes and Noble sent me an email. I don't know how they got my email. And they told me 3 more books will come in Friday. I have no idea how they're coming to me because it's not like I ordered them with my gift cards or anything. So Friday, I probably have 3 more books to show you. That's all I got for today, y'all. So I will see y'all when I'm doing something else bookish or when I have an update on Audre and Bash. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Yesterday, I did not get to film anything, when I got off of work. It was a day. I will say that. It's supposed to be my easy job, and it was a day. But I did get about 45% into Audre and Bash Are Just Friends. It's cute. It's reading really YA for me, so it's okay. Right now, it's like a good 3 right now. Saying that I'm almost at the 50% mark. I don't have any like butterflies or anything, or oh, this is so adorable. Like, no, I don't have that yet. Like, it's really YA. And just as time goes on with me being a reader, I'm really starting to understand like what I love in books and what I don't like in books, and the books that I tend to reach for a little more often than others. And I mean, it's been like this from the beginning. YA has never ever been my jam or whatever, but every now and then I need something light to break up some of the darker, heavier books that I do read. So this was perfect at the time, and I'm not mad about it at all. It's just not, a book that I feel like I'm just going to love. You know what I mean? Just because it is YA, but I knew that picking it up. I also started yesterday when I was getting a little bored with that one. I was thumbing through, my Kindle and seeing the books that I've like recently added. I was just like doing a whole revamp, of my Kindle. Like, what books have been on here that I have not, clicked or whatever. Let me take those off. Let me put stuff on. And a couple days ago, I put Aphrodite and the Duke on my Kindle. If you watch Kayla's Bookish Vibes, you know that she's obsessed with that series. And she has been talking about that book, that series, nonstop for like a while. Like, honestly, like a good while. I feel like when I first started following her, I think she did a whole vlog on that series, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been like a YouTube short. I'm really not sure. I could be making all of this up, but I vaguely remember her doing a vlog on that series. So I've been, seeing her talk about these books for a while, and she swears by them. And then Lucy Loves Books and Bags, I believe, read this. I think she gave it a really high rating as well. And like I say, my trusted book peeps, the people that I see all the time on Goodreads, I really follow their reviews. I go to their review to see what they thought about a book before I either buy it or reach for it or whatever, because we have very similar tastes with a lot of things. Let's just, get a sample on my Kindle and read a few chapters and just see what the vibe of this book is. From the first word, it gave Black Bridgerton. And I thought, honestly, when I read the Davenports, I thought that's what that book was going to give me. And it really didn't. The Davenports was cool, but I don't feel the need to go on with that series because I don't know what the second book is, the purple one. I never picked that up because I'm like, all right, Davenports was just okay to me. So, but this is already, from chapter 1, it already kind of gave you some secrets. You see stuff that's gonna go down already from the first chapter. So I'm like, okay, am I gonna dedicate my life to this whole series? Who knows? But I know for sure I'm sticking with the first book in this series. I don't know that I'm just gonna complete it in this vlog or not. We'll see, because today that's gonna be the book of choice, because like I said, I think earlier in this vlog, I don't have the Tia Williams book on my Kindle. Only if I have an opportunity to listen to the book can I really consume that book today, which I highly doubt is the only way I'm going to read that book today. So I'm going to need something to read on my Kindle. That's why I started it yesterday, just to kind of see what the feel was, to see if I'd stick to it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try to read that book today, a little bit at least. I'm not going to get far in it, I'm sure. All right, y'all, I am going to work, and I probably will not see you guys again until tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so, and I have a lot of stuff to do Saturday, so I will not be vlogging on Saturday. So I will holler at you guys tomorrow.
Did you meet her? She saved me from a murderous swan. Typical. Stunned, Reshma sat down on the stool next to Audre. A sales guy knocked on the wall outside the curtain.
going to be. Earlier in this video, I was talking about how it was too YA, which it was. It took until about the 65-70% mark for me to kind of like really like the story. Well, I can't say that. I've been liking the story since I started it. Let me not say that. Till it became like less YA for me. Like, I think because it got a little more serious, I started to like it a little more. We kind of went back in time to 7 Days in June, and I kind of wish the stuff that was talked about in here about Audre's mom was talked about in 7 Days in June, just because I think I've said it before on here, like 7 Days in June wasn't like one of my favorite books. Honestly, I liked other Tia Williams books better than 7 Days in June, and I know everybody loves that book, but it was just okay for me. But I feel like some of the stuff that was discussed in here should have been in there. But, you know, as an author, maybe she wrote that book, thought about some stuff, and wanted to add it to kind of give us closure and give us a little more understanding about 7 Days in June. But I don't know. But it ended up being cute. There were a couple of moments where I actually like laughed out loud or giggled to myself, you know, in this book, because it was cute. It was definitely cute. I definitely recommend it. It just wasn't like, woo, I love this book. You know, it wasn't like that at all, but it was definitely cute. You should give it a try. But I am done with this, and I cannot wait, because I started Aphrodite and the Duke, but I'm literally still on the same chapter I talked about earlier in this video. I think like chapter 2 or something like that. I stopped reading because I'm like, let me just finish this book before I do this book, because I knew I wanted to finish this book in this vlog. So I did that. So I'm going to get to this next. So I won't be reading that in this vlog, but this is probably my next read. I also got a package. Remember I told you that they emailed me and said some books were coming? They came. So I got my books. I'm going to go over them with you. But let me tell you about my coworker. So one of my coworkers, her mom is a big reader, and she doesn't like to keep all her books. So she's been bringing some of her books to like the little free library I started at work that I told you guys about a while back. And she gave me these too. So she gave me The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I've never read a book by Ruth Ware. I hear she's a hit or miss type of author. So I don't know one way or another. So I'm going to try this out at some point. I think Gina's got this book. So Gina, we need to read this. And then she gave me Lisa Jewell, Don't Let Him In. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the newest release by Lisa Jewell. I'm really not sure. I'm not reading the backs of these, but these are the ones that my coworker gave me. And then let me show you what I got from Barnes & Noble. You know, I kind of rather order from them, because y'all know how my experiences are when I actually go in the store. So first one I got, and yes, I got the large print on purpose because I told y'all about how I like my books. Look how floppy that is. Look how floppy, and look how big it is. I love it. So I got The Girls Who Grew Big. I don't know if you know what this one's about. This one's been kind of popular on Goodreads. I'll read the backs of the ones that I got though. Adela Woods is 16 years old and pregnant. When her parents discover her secret, they banish her from prep school and her elite swim team in Indiana, and send her to her grandmother's home in Padua Beach, Florida. I don't know if that's how you say it. In Florida, Adela befriends Emery, who brings her newborn to high school, determined to graduate despite the odds. Simone, mother of 4-year-old twins, who weighs her options when she finds herself pregnant again, and the rest of the girls, a group of young moms who raise their growing brood in the back of Simone's red truck. Swept into a world that upends the rules she has always known, Adela flirts with an older man, tests the bonds between the girls, and seeks an answer to a question she's only just beginning to ask. What kind of mother will she be? Told through 3 young mothers' voices, The Girls Who Grew Big depicts the shifting sands of these friends' secrets and betrayals, and confirms Leila Mottley's promise by offering an explosive new perspective on what it means to be a young woman. Definitely sounds cozy. Is it bad that I don't think large print is large anymore? This might be my 3rd or 4th book that I've gotten in large print. 2 were accidents. This was on purpose. But these not even that big. It makes the book seem like it's longer, but the words are so big, so it's really not. But I cannot wait to get into this one. Then I got Leslie Penelope, Daughter of the Merciful Deep. I've been looking at this book for a while. People have solidified the thoughts that I've had, and I just need to go ahead and pick this up. I read Monsters We Defy by this author, and I thought it was pretty good. Definitely out of my comfort zone. This one will be too, but it's an historical fiction fantasy. And I think it's the kind of fantasy that I like. I'm starting to realize, like, with fantasy, I think I like more of a magical fantasy as opposed to like a dragon or a vampire or some gargoyle that's talking to me. Like, I don't think I can get with that, just because it's so far-fetched from reality, where I feel like magic is too. I mean, but at the same time, I believe in like spirits and spiritual things and people having gifts and like energy and auras. Like, I think that stuff is factual. I think it's true. I think I think a lot about that. So I can get with that. So it's very long on the back and I really don't feel like reading it, but I cannot wait to get with this. And then y'all remember my hunt that I went on for this book? I finally got it. So we don't talk about Carol. I definitely want to get to this. Like I said, fall is coming. I like my more cozier reads, thrillers. I'm trying to get up more on my thrillers because it's been a minute since I've been like diving into thrillers. And it's like I try to throw at least one in a month. But at one point, I was reading like 3 or 4 a month, along with the other stuff I was reading too. And I kind of want to get back to my thrillers because thrillers just go so fast and you get in them. And it's like, I just love a good thriller. And I haven't really been reaching for them, but I think it's because I haven't had any. And if I have some, I'm more inclined to reach for them. So this is long as well. I'll read a little bit. In the wake of her grandmother's passing, Sydney Singleton finds a hidden photograph of a little girl who looks more like Sydney than her own sister or mother. She soon discovers that the mystery girl in the photograph is her Aunt Carol, who was one of 6 black girls to go missing from their North Carolina neighborhood in the 1960s. For the last several decades, not a soul has talked about Carol or what really happened to her. But now, with her grandmother gone and Sydney looking to start a family of her own, she's determined to unravel the truth behind her long-lost aunt's disappearance and the sinister silence that surrounds her. It's more on there, but I'm not going to read all that. But I finally got this book because if y'all remember when I went in the store, that book was just eaten up. Like, somebody chewed those pages. And I'm like, why would y'all even have this on the shelf? I was so upset about it. It really irritated me. But I have a nice crisp-ish, because this little corner right here is making me upset, but crisp-ish version of this book. So y'all, for those of y'all that want to come for me when I make these little short videos, I made this one as long as I could, but I did it for y'all this time. So sometimes you'll get longer ones, sometimes you'll get quicker ones. It's just really what I have time for, y'all. Honestly, it's just really what I have time for. But I'm gonna always put out something on Sunday. So as always, thank y'all for hanging out with me for this week. Thank you for doing all the things that we did. Thank you for hanging out with me, supporting me, chatting with me in these comments, and I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. All the books I talked about all through this video are linked down below. If you're interested in any, go ahead and click those links and get them from Amazon, and I will see y'all next Sunday.